I didn't want to know. I'm going to call you.
Reserve decision. Fini.
I mean, he recognized them, and he almost said at the end, well, you know, I'm going to come out with something. I'm going to decide something. I haven't figured out what, because he seems to be really wrestling with what is going to be the solution, and not just the solution for the next couple of years and let's get us back to court and see if it happens again. He is actually wrestling with a solution that he believes will be the be-all, end-all. He doesn't want us coming back to court. He even said that. He's like, I'm tired of... He didn't say I'm tired of it. He's like, maybe one day you'll win one to the ground. And that's his way of saying, look, we constantly are going to get this problem unless I come today and we get this murder ruling right, and he wants to get it right. The real question will be is how and what he's going to do.
In fact, didn't he say at one point, how many times do you want to come back?
Yeah. And that's what he told it. How many times do you want to come back? How many times do you want to do this?
I want to know the two judges that were already on the Hitzig case, and that conflict of interest for the case we have now?
Nope.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
No. Okay.
In fact, one of the interveners said, you know, the facts are a lot different. We have a lot more information now than we had in Hitzig concerning the problems.
Exactly, and that's one thing when we looked at the transcript of Hitzig, is that Hitzig was done and Bernstein was a lawyer on Hitzig. So we had one of their lawyers, and he said, look, the program only had existed for a year when we did this.
Right, correct.
And now the program has existed for a decade when Myrna did this. And so the Crown's very first argument is that we shouldn't have been able to even raise this type of an argument because it was dealt with 10 years ago. And the court said, you don't have to deal with this anymore. So that was one of the that was one of the big hurdles we had to jump through. So by saying we have 22, like our number is big, and when they said at the beginning, how many do you need to bring? So it looks like they've already accepted by his very final comment. I already accept that there are problems.
Yeah, that there are a significant number of people who can't get the treatment they're entitled to.
Yeah. So he already has accepted that. He already. The next phase, the question will be, is what is he going to do to fix it? Does he, you know, we got to run the access point plan, which we never got a chance to run in front of Justice Taliano. And somehow at Court of Appeal, they're like, hey, what do you guys want, Mr. Murray? Well, you know, this 10-point plan, you know, when we read it, and it was first Paul.
Paul.
Oh, look at the docs, man. How are you again?
A little tired today, you know.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Yes. Sean Brady, witnesses.
Good job.
You know,
Good job, man.
No, if you can help me with this, that'd be fine. I'm still in court for the one joint. Can you imagine that? They won't drop the charges.
Oh, ridiculous.
And I got to fight. I have no money. What am I doing? What am I supposed to do?
Here's another one. You can help? There you go.
Oh, okay.
That's a good headache.
Oh, cool.
so I like, how long do you figure we're waiting? Like 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to know. Maybe 3 or 4 months. It could be.
90 days, summer of love.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Matt,
I
you could be
think
sitting in
60.
BC again when you get a phone call. Yeah. Put a letter in the mail.
Yeah. So he ended very well. I thought, you know, Justice Doherty ended on a very good, positive note.
Plus, everything's status quo for you until the decision gets rendered.
Which is, you know, excellent. I don't have to go home and chop down a bunch of plants. And that was one of the discussions I already had with my mom. And she's like, well, what happens if they decide no longer to exempt you? And I was like, well, we think about it. My mom's response was, well, I think you've already made that decision, and your family supports you. And so, like, that's always, like, when you have to, like, oh, crap. Gonna make that bail phone call or something, you know, like, and I'm tired of doing this. Like, if Justice Doherty's tired of hearing it, like, we've been doing this for 5 years. We interviewed so many people, like, Paul's like, I'm prepared to do it again and get more witnesses for us. And I'm like,
You know, Matt was in my office every day for 4 months leading up to the case, calling people. So Matt's crazy amount of work.
So we've done it.
And I'm sure you didn't get full pay for it all either, so you're very good.
250 hours.
Yeah, no, it was about 25 grand that they shorted me. But,
Look at all the new friendships made.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Labor of love.
Yeah.
So I got lots of money waiting for me.
There you go.
So,
There you go.
I don't know, we're all going to just sit down and we're going to wait, and I really don't know where they're
We're
going to
gonna
go.
just die
Obviously, none of us know.
slowly, or you know.
And we'll just wait.
Because they really gave, I mean, they boxed both sides' ears pretty hard,
Yeah.
and almost in a logically inconsistent way. So you couldn't really say, oh, based on the way he beat up so and so, they're definitely going that way, because the questions to the other side would be just as hard in the opposite direction.
The key phrase for the
Yeah, he's-
conclusion, though, was a significant proportion of the people are being malserved, or not exactly further, but they weren't being served properly. And as long as the proportion of those who are not adequately served is significant, doesn't have to be majority, just has to be significant. And that's enough for the constitutional weight to bear. And I think that was very important.
Well, not only that, that's kind of the key finding of the trial judge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if that's the key finding of the trial judge and they're agreeing with it, well, then that would suggest that the appeal won't proceed. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm impressed with the fact that they kind of gave us the case for Quebec on a silver platter. The idea that they're trying, because we're an Ontario court, they're trying to say there's enough Ontario doctors, which we can argue for a long time. There kind of might be, because there was a lot of flexibility here. But a lot of the testimonies from today was been saying like how Quebec is so restricted, how there's very little in regional areas.
So what are we doing,
Yeah,
buddy? Going back to
exactly.
Vapor?
Those are major cities.
So back to Vapor?
Equal across the country.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Doesn't apply equally that it was all over the place.
Exactly. So if you're like, I'm from Quebec, and in Quebec.